Have you ever wondered if there are places on Earth so unreal that they make you question your own eyes? Across the vast ocean, natural rock formations rise from the water, shaped like strange monuments carved by nature itself over millions of years. If natural wonders amaze us with the power of creation, man-made marvels inspire us with the brilliance and belief that nothing is impossible. Nature and humankind, two distinct creators, together shape a world that feels both real and surreal. Welcome to the journey through strange natural places that don't seem real, where the line between reality and imagination slowly fades away.
Laojian Mountain.
Deep in the heart of the Central Plains, reaching high above a permanent sea of clouds, lies a place that gently blurs the boundary between earth and heaven. Golden pavilions gleaming softly in the mountain mist. This is Laojian Mountain. A sacred Taoist peak that has stood as a quiet beacon of spiritual awakening for over 2,000 years. When the winter snow falls, its gilded roofs shine like a forgotten celestial palace, resting purely in the sky. To stand on its frozen summits is to leave the mortal world entirely behind. It is a refuge of absolute tranquility. A place where the mind quiets, the wind carries ancient whispers, and the soul finds perfect harmony with the vast emptiness. Even now, the clouds drift endlessly across the jagged peaks. The seasons fade and quietly return, and the golden pavilions remain. A quiet symbol of enlightenment, peace, and the beautiful wonder of touching the divine.
Niagara Falls. Straddling the border between two nations, Niagara Falls is not just a waterfall, it is a living, breathing symbol of nature's immense power and its raw, unyielding beauty. The water plunges from nearly 50 meters, crashing with a roar like a wild beast, sending millions of liters cascading into the abyss. The sheer force of the falls creates white waves that splash into the air, filling the atmosphere with a constant mist. Standing near, you can feel the earth itself tremble, as if the heavens and the ground are engaged in a dance that will never cease. The mystique of Niagara lies not only in its dreamlike beauty, but also in the deafening roar that echoes from the depths. Imagine, every second, this mighty river flows relentlessly, creating a dense mist that drapes over the scene, obscuring everything in its path. Here, you can feel the vibrant pulse of life and the eternal power of nature. A place where strength and beauty converge, leaving you mesmerized, unable to look away.
Wangshan Valley.
Deep within the rugged mountains of Jiangxi, a civilization appears to hang in midair. Clinging to the vertical cliff of a lush valley, a place where impossible architecture meets the sheer edge of reality. This is Wangshan Valley, a hidden sanctuary where ancient wooden structures are perched hundreds of feet above a deep, winding abyss. To look upon it is to question how it was even built. Local legends speak of ancient cultivation sects seeking immortality. Utilizing lost arts, conspiracy theorists whisper of hidden bases where unnatural technologies defy gravity. There is an eerie perfection in the way these homes grip the stone, as if meant to conceal something deeply classified. Standing in this vertical world, the lines between ancient myth and secret knowledge disappear. Is this an architectural anomaly or a physical decoy to distract us from the unknown? Wangshan Valley is an impossible architectural enigma, suspended between the earth and the unknown.
Lençóis Maranhenses. Nestled in the north of Brazil, Lençóis Maranhenses is a land of sheer wonder, where pristine white sand dunes roll in endless waves toward the horizon. Like a surrealist painting brought to life, the barren expanse of sand is suddenly broken by crystal-clear lagoons. It creates a breathtaking visual symphony, the blinding white of the dunes meeting the deep sapphire blues of the water. Though it wears the guise of a desert, this landscape hides a secret. Nourished by seasonal rains, freshwater lagoons emerge, transforming the dunes into a tranquil tropical oasis. These waters scatter like precious gems across a canvas of white silk, forging a natural masterpiece that exists nowhere else on Earth. Immersed in this boundless expanse, a profound silence washes over your senses. You feel as though you've stepped through a gateway into a world untouched by time. Yet, Lençóis Maranhenses is a living, breathing entity. The lagoons fade away with the dry winds, only to be fiercely reborn with the return of the rains, bringing with them a haunting, vibrant beauty. More than just a sanctuary for nature lovers, this place is a living canvas, a magnificent privilege carefully sculpted by the hands of Mother Nature herself. Marble Caves. Hidden along the rugged shores of General Carrera Lake in Patagonia lies a sanctuary carved by the restless hands of time, the Marble Caves. For over 6,000 years, the glacial waters have danced against these limestone walls, sculpting a labyrinth of swirling pillars and arched corridors that seem to defy the weight of the earth. This is a world of blue upon blue. The walls, smooth as polished silk, act as a mirror to the lake's shifting moods. In the morning, they glow with a soft, pale turquoise. By dusk, they deepen into a rich, royal sapphire. As you drift through these hollowed cathedrals, the light dances across the ceiling in a mesmerizing shimmer. It is a silent, liquid light, a visual symphony performed by the sun and the water. Here, the stone doesn't feel cold or hard. It feels alive. The intricate patterns of the marble tell a story of patience, a testament to what can be created when the elements work in perfect, slow-motion harmony. Moab Potash Mine. In the heart of Utah's red rock country, amidst the rugged canyons of Moab, lies a site that feels like a glitch in the desert's reality. Here, the Earth's natural rust-colored palette is suddenly interrupted by sharp, geometric pools of electric neon blue. These are the potash evaporation ponds, a surreal landscape where industry meets the ancient soul of the desert. These are not natural lakes, but vast canvases of brine. To extract the minerals buried deep below the surface, water is dyed a brilliant blue to absorb the sun's scorching heat, accelerating the journey from liquid to crystal. From above, they look like shards of a fallen sky, scattered across the jagged, sun-baked landscape. A striking contrast of human precision against the raw, chaotic beauty of the American West. As the water evaporates, the vibrant blues shift into icy teals and stark whites, leaving behind the salt that once lay hidden for millions of years. It is a slow, silent transformation, dictated by the rhythm of the sun and the desert wind. The Moab potash ponds remind us that even in our search for resources, we can inadvertently create a masterpiece of abstract art. a vivid blue oasis in a world of red stone, a mesmerizing intersection of human ingenuity and the timeless desert sun.
Moai statues of Easter Island. In the blinding vastness of the Pacific Ocean, a ghostly army stands frozen in time. These are the Moai of Easter Island, colossal, brooding sentinels carved from the ash of a dead volcano. They stare eternally inland, their backs to the endless sea, as if waiting for a world that has already ended. For centuries, humanity looked upon this landscape and saw only massive, severed heads. It was a perfect, accidental deception woven by the wind and the years. But the earth was holding a colossal secret. Beneath the soil, immense, intricately carved bodies remain buried in the dark. The landscape itself swallowed their true scale, hiding the full majesty of these giants beneath the grass. Local legend whispers that these 70-ton monoliths did not simply stand, they walked. In the fading light, as their impossibly long shadows stretch across the crater, the illusion takes hold. You hold your breath, half expecting them to blink. Mortarach Ice Cave. High in the Engadine Valley, beneath the towering peaks of the Swiss Alps, lies a kingdom of frozen light. The Mortarach Ice Cave. Here, at the snout of the retreating glacier, the earth opens up to reveal a cathedral of sapphire. A world carved not from stone, but from ancient snow, compressed over centuries into ice of impossible purity. Inside, the air is still and sharp. The walls glow with an ethereal, electric blue, the result of ice so dense it swallows every color of the spectrum, leaving only the deepest azure to illuminate the dark. Looking at the arched ceilings and frozen ripples, you are witnessing a moment in time that will never be repeated. This is a fleeting masterpiece. As the glacier breathes and moves, the cave shapes itself anew, or disappears forever. It is a place of profound beauty, but also a silent warning. Each drop of water falling from the roof is the ticking clock of a changing world, a reminder of the fragile balance between the frozen giants and the warming sun. Mount Rushmore. Carved into the rugged peaks of the Black Hills, Mount Rushmore,
looks like a monumental landmark left behind by a vanished giant civilization. 4 massive faces staring silently across the American landscape. But the true mystery of this mountain is what lies hidden behind the stone. Concealed deep behind the face of Abraham Lincoln is a secret, restricted doorway leading directly into the solid granite. Officially, it is called the Hall of Records. But dark legends and conspiracy theories suggest it was built as a cover for deeply classified underground bases, or even a secure vault to protect extraterrestrial secrets from the public eye. With restricted airspace overhead and heavily armed security guarding the mountain, one has to wonder, is this merely a historical monument or a colossal stone decoy hiding the unknown? Mount Rushmore is a breathtaking architectural marvel, a towering monument of human history, permanently guarding the secrets buried within the rock. Palpa geoglyphs. Located in southern Peru, Palpa is home to enormous earth drawings that form a grand canvas of an ancient civilization. These geoglyphs, etched into the vast desert floor, can only be fully appreciated from above, like traces of a forgotten culture holding stories without words. With shapes of animals, winding paths, and strange geometric patterns, the geoglyphs at Palpa evoke a sense of mystery, as though they are messages from the past, left behind for those who know how to read them. But the mysteries here are not just in their forms, but in the unanswered question: why were these drawings created? And what do they mean to the people who lived here thousands of years ago? Standing among these sacred grounds, you'll feel as though you're stepping into a journey to uncover the footprints of an ancient world, where humanity and nature intertwined to create a colossal work of art, full of hidden meanings. It's a place that not only attracts archaeologists, but also serves as an endless source of inspiration for those who are captivated by the mystique and beauty of the unexplained. Roswell, New Mexico. Somewhere in New Mexico lies a quiet, ordinary American town that was entirely swallowed by a cosmic mystery. Welcome to the streets of Roswell, where even the streetlights are shaped like glowing alien heads, constantly watching your every move. The absolute epicenter of this obsession is the International UFO Museum. Housed inside an old movie theater, it is a massive vault of heavily guarded secrets, featuring declassified military documents and chilling, life-sized autopsy dioramas. Step further down Main Street, and reality begins to physically warp. You enter neon-lit spacewalks and immersive extraterrestrial zones. The entire city feels like a surreal science fiction movie set, actively embracing an intergalactic invasion. But behind the plastic statues and crowded tourist traps lies a deeply unsettling atmosphere, a constant, lingering question. What if beneath all this heavy commercial disguise, the terrifying truth is actually hiding in plain sight? Roswell is not just a city, it is the undisputed capital of the unknown. A place where the boundary between human reality and alien conspiracy has completely vanished.
Sedona, Arizona.
Standing like a rusted outpost on the edge of the civilized world, the towering red monoliths of Sedona look less like Earth and more like a captured fragment of Mars. For decades, this crimson desert has been the global epicenter of disturbing otherworldly reports. Legends tell of powerful, swirling energy vortexes that act as interdimensional doorways, drawing visitors not from this planet. Local residents whispers of secret, classified underground bases hidden deep beneath the rock, and countless tourists have captured footage of unexplainable metallic crafts navigating the canyons with impossible speed. Are these just optical illusions caused by the desert heat? Or is Sedona truly a vibrating beacon for extraterrestrial intelligence? Sedona is no ordinary geological formation. It is a deeply unsettling nexus where human reality and alien conspiracy are permanently fused together.
Stonehenge. Nestled in the countryside of England, Stonehenge is an ancient stone circle built thousands of years ago, with towering stones that stand firm, defying time and the wear of nature. Each stone here carries a story untold, a piece of a mystery that humankind is still striving to unravel. As you stand among these massive stones, a sense of stillness surrounds you, as if time itself has stopped. The stones form a perfect circle, like a mystical doorway leading to another world where humanity and nature harmonize. The sun rises and sets through the gaps between the stones, casting a breathtaking scene, a dance of light and shadow. Stonehenge is not just an ancient architectural marvel, it is a powerful symbol of the connection between humans and the cosmos, between science and the mystical. It is a place that draws archaeologists and mystery enthusiasts alike, all captivated by the unanswered questions that still linger, waiting to be discovered. The Wave, Arizona, USA.
The first glimpse will make you question your reality. A silent mirage that crashes like a frozen ocean. Navajo sandstone curving in rhythmic, silk-like ribbons. At high noon, when the sunlight strikes dead on, shadows are banished, revealing a mesmerizing, blinding symphony of burnt oranges and radiant reds. But this is the hardest place on Earth to reach. The barrier isn't the road. It's a ruthless game of chance. Securing a permit here is like holding a winning lottery ticket to another world. And if you win, the true test begins. There are no clear trails, only a GPS, a map, and utter isolation. Just a few missteps, and the sweltering wilderness will claim you forever. Breathtaking, exclusive, and utterly unforgiving. Uffington White Horse. Uffington White Horse is a massive, centuries-old figure etched into the land, creating the image of a powerful white horse standing tall against the vast, open landscape. This ancient drawing, over 3,000 years old, seems to come alive, a lasting trace of long-lost civilizations. From above, the horse takes shape, a simple yet striking work of art, as if it were carved into the earth to convey some mysterious message. This horse, alongside ancient pathways and the surrounding landscape, makes Uffington White Horse not just a piece of artwork, but a part of an unsolved story, a vibrant symbol of the connection between humans and nature. Standing in this wide open space, you'll feel an eerie calm, as though you're standing at the intersection of past and present. The changing light throughout the day creates different effects, making the horse appear to awaken every time the sun sets. Uffington White Horse is not just an ancient monument, but a symbol of the wonder of nature and humanity's lasting legacy.
Shanrendong Village.
Tucked away amidst the surreal karst peaks of Yunnan lies a place that translates simply as the Cave of the Immortals. Shanrendong Village is a living painting where scattered wooden homes sit quietly at the edge of a mirror-like lakes. Surrounded by endless fields of lotus and shrouded in morning mist, this secluded utopia feels entirely disconnected from the rushing world. local people do not conquer the land. They flow in perfect harmony with it. To drift along these winding waterways on a small wooden boat is to watch time itself slow down. The reflections of the towering green mountains waver gently on the water's surface, perfectly blurring the line between Earth and the heavens. The modern world may spin relentlessly outside this hidden valley, yet the waters of Xianrendong remain perfectly calm, a quiet symbol of simplicity, natural harmony, and the beautiful wonder of a life lived like an eternal poem.
Yuanyang Rice Terraces.
Carved piece by piece into the rugged slopes of the Ailau Mountains, there is a masterpiece that no single artist could ever claim. A sweeping canvas of water and earth, shaped by the hands of countless generations. For over 1,000 years, the Hani people have sculpted these breathtaking contours. Step by step, they turned unforgiving, steep peaks into a flowing stairway that reaches the clouds. It is a profound, ongoing dialogue between human endurance and wild nature. When the morning mist lifts, the flooded terraces become thousands of shattered mirrors, perfectly catching the colors of the dawn. It is an ever-changing mosaic, flooded with silver in winter, glowing gold in autumn, and vibrating with lush green in spring. As the sun sets and the water turns the valley into a sea of fallen stars, the quiet beauty of Yuanyang speaks for itself. It is not an imposing monument of stone, but a living, breathing artwork, carved with patience and sustained by the perfect harmony of earth and sky.
Zhangjiajie National Forest Park. Some places look like they were designed for a science fiction movie. But this is completely real. You are looking at Zhangjiajie. Hidden deep in the heart of China. There are no normal mountains here. Instead, you will find over 3,000 stone pillars, piercing the sky like giant shattered spears. When the heavy mist rolls into the valley, the ground disappears, and these massive stone giants literally look like they are floating in the clouds. It is an unbelievable, gravity-defying landscape. So surreal, it directly inspired the floating mountains in the movie Avatar. A mystical, vertical maze of stone and jungle. Alien, majestic, unbelievable.
Crescent Lake.
Deep within the sweeping dunes of the Gobi Desert, there is a shape that seems too perfect to be real. A crescent of sapphire water curving gently between the mountains of sand. Music, a soft, sweeping wind mixed with a gentle, resonant guqin. This is Crescent Lake, an ancient oasis that has held its delicate form for over 2,000 years. Despite the shifting sands and the dry desert winds, the water never vanishes. It is silently fed by a hidden underground spring. Beside the water stands an elegant pavilion, a quiet shelter that once welcomed weary travelers of the ancient Silk Road, a resting place where the endless journey met absolute stillness. Even now, the golden sands rise around it. The winds continue to blow. Music swells gently, a serene, uplifting cinematic chord, and the crescent remains. A quiet symbol of resilience, balance, and the profound wonder of life, thriving in the harshest of places.
Fan Jing Shan.
High above the Wuling Mountains, piercing through a quiet sea of mist, there is a peak that seems to touch the heavens. A solitary needle of stone rising gently from the green earth. This is Mount Fanjing. At its very summit, resting perfectly in the clouds, sit two ancient temples. Though separated by a deep gorge, they are forever connected by a single, delicate stone bridge. To climb its thousands of winding steps is a journey of quiet devotion. It is a sanctuary built far away from the noise of the world below. A resting place where the morning mist rolls by and human hands reach out to embrace the sky. Even now, the clouds drift endlessly around the peak, The mountain stands completely still, and the temples remain. A quiet symbol of faith, harmony, and the beautiful wonder of finding peace at the edge of the world.
The Ganjia Octagonal Fortress.
In the middle of the endless, sweeping grasslands of Ganjia, a perfect geometric shape rests silently on the earth, a hollow, octagonal-walled city. Looking like an ancient seal pressed softly into the green plateau. This is the Bajiao Fortress. Once a fierce military outpost on the ancient frontier, it now sleeps peacefully in the embrace of the surrounding mountains. Its earthen walls, weathered by centuries of rain and wind, still hold their perfectly symmetrical form. Inside these decaying walls, time seems to have completely stopped. A small village quietly goes about its days, sheltered by the fading echoes of a forgotten empire. It is a resting place where human history slowly dissolves into the vast open landscape. Even now, the seasons continue to shift across the plateau. The grasslands fade to gold and bloom green again, and the fortress remains. A quiet symbol of memory, endurance, and the beautiful wonder of an ancient civilization fading softly into nature.
Haidushan.
Deep in the remote wilderness of the Northwest, there is a place where the earth seems to have been entirely stripped of its color. A vast, silent landscape of rolling hills painted only in black and white. This is Haidushan, covered in dark, weathered gravel scattered over the pale desert soil. It looks exactly like a traditional ink wash painting brought to life. Here, there are no trees, no birds, and no signs of life. To walk across these monochromatic ridges is to step into a space of absolute emptiness. It is a quiet sanctuary of solitude. A resting place where the eyes are freed from all distraction and the mind finds a profound peace within the barren beauty. Even now, the desert sun moves slowly across the pale sky. The shadows stretch and quietly fade. And the black hills remain, a quiet symbol of solitude, purity, and the beautiful wonder of a world stripped down to its very soul.
Laojian Mountain.
Deep in the heart of the Central Plains, reaching high above a permanent sea of clouds, lies a place that gently blurs the boundary between earth and heaven. Golden pavilions gleaming softly in the mountain mist. This is Laojun Mountain. A sacred Taoist peak that has stood as a quiet beacon of spiritual awakening for over 2,000 years. When the winter snow falls, its gilded roofs shine like a forgotten celestial palace, resting purely in the sky. To stand on its frozen summits is to leave the mortal world entirely behind. It is a refuge of absolute tranquility. A place where the mind quiets, the wind carries ancient whispers, and the soul finds perfect harmony with the vast emptiness. Even now, the clouds drift endlessly across the jagged peaks. The seasons fade and quietly return, and the golden pavilions remain. A quiet symbol of enlightenment, peace, and the beautiful wonder of touching the divine.
Larungar.
Spilling across the freezing slopes of the Tibetan Plateau is a sight that humbles the soul. An endless ocean of crimson cabins clinging tightly to the rugged earth. This is Larungar, a sanctuary unlike any other. Here, at an altitude of over 4,000 meters, the air is remarkably thin, and the winters are merciless. Yet tens of thousands of monks and nuns gather in this remote valley, not for worldly pursuits, but for a lifelong journey of spiritual awakening. Walking through this labyrinth of red wood, the rush of modern life completely fades away. You only hear the rhythmic turning of golden prayer wheels, the rustle of maroon robes against the snow, and the gentle chanting of ancient mantras. Larungar is more than just a settlement. It is a breathing monument to human devotion. A warm, beating heart of faith that thrives in one of the coldest, most isolated corners of the earth.
Lashan Giant Buddha.
Where three turbulent rivers collide in the heart of Sichuan, a colossal figure watches over the waters in eternal silence. Carved entirely out of a sheer red sandstone cliff, the Lashan Giant Buddha is a monument of unimaginable scale. For over a millennium, this 71-meter-tall guardian has sat patiently. It was not built to conquer nature or display human ego, but born out of profound compassion. Ancient monks spent decades carving the mountain to calm the deadly currents and protect the passing ships below. As centuries passed, nature has slowly embraced the stone. Moss and ferns drape over its massive shoulders like a living green robe. Seamlessly blending human devotion with the wild earth. Standing at its feet, one cannot help but feel incredibly fragile and small. Generations have come and gone, and the rivers continue their restless journey. Yet, the giant Buddha remains in perfect meditation, a timeless symbol of compassion, silently anchoring the human spirit against the turbulent currents of the world.
Maijichan Grottoes.
Rising from the lush, misty forests of Gansu is a solitary peak shaped like a rustic stack of wheat. But looking closer at its sheer, vertical cliffs reveals a breathtaking gallery of divine artistry. This is Maijishan. Clinging precariously to the rock face is a fragile web of wooden walkways suspended hundreds of feet in the empty air. Here, for over 15 centuries, devoted artisans risked everything to carve thousands of serene figures directly into the mountain's heart. Walking along these dizzying paths, the fear of heights dissolves into quiet awe. You are greeted by the eternal, compassionate smiles of ancient clay statues. They gaze out over the green valleys, their gentle expressions completely untouched by the chaos of passing eras. The wooden planks may creak underfoot, and the winds will forever weather the stone. Yet, the mountain's quiet grace remains, a soaring monument where fragile human artistry beautifully transcends the heavy bounds of earth and time.
Monsanto. High in the rugged mountains of Portugal, a village defies gravity, logic, and time. This is Monsanto, a place where architecture and geology are locked in an eternal, stony embrace. At first glance, the landscape presents a terrifying illusion. Gigantic granite boulders, some the size of small ships, sit precariously upon delicate red-tiled roofs. It looks like a town caught in the middle of a prehistoric avalanche, frozen half a second before destruction. But as you walk its narrow, winding cobblestone streets, the illusion unravels. These massive stones did not fall onto the houses. The houses were born around them. Here, humanity didn't clear the land, it yielded to it. Doors open directly into solid bedrock. Walls bend and curve to accommodate the bellies of ancient megaliths. A 200-ton boulder isn't a hazard, it is a living room ceiling. It is a masterclass in adaptation. The boundary between the natural mountain and the human sanctuary is completely erased. You cannot tell where the wild earth ends and the home begins. Pamukkale, Turkey. Rising abruptly from the barren plains of Turkey is a blinding white mirage known as Pamukkale, the Cotton Castle. At first glance, this expanse appears as a frozen waterfall suspended in the dead of a blazing summer, or perhaps clouds that have tumbled directly to the earth. But do not let the illusion of softness deceive your senses. That pristine, fluffy facade is actually forged from unforgiving travertine rock, brutally sculpted over millennia by boiling, mineral-rich subterranean springs. As you step barefoot onto these terraced pools filled with neon cyan water, you instantly feel the sharp, raw reality of stone hiding beneath an angelic disguise. Coupled with the scorching sun reflecting off the blinding white surface, threatening to overwhelm unguarded eyes, Pamukkale is more than a surreal masterpiece. It is a magnificent visual trap, where nature freezes time and alchemy turns water into eternal stone. Passo Giao. Nestled between the towering peaks of the Dolomites in Italy, Passo Giao is not just a mountain pass, but a living masterpiece, where land and sky meet in perfect harmony. Surrounded by towering peaks, the summit of Giao offers a breathtaking view of lush valleys and drifting clouds. As you stand at the top of Passo Giao, the world seems to pause, leaving you alone with nature. The tranquility, the freshness, and the vastness of this place make every worry disappear, replaced by an overwhelming sense of peace. Winding roads through verdant forests, snow-covered peaks in the winter create a majestic, dreamlike scene. Passo Giao is more than just a place to admire nature's beauty. It's a destination that offers relaxation and a feeling of being completely one with the land. Every step you take here feels like entering another world, where nature is not just part of life, but an endless source of inspiration, where every mountain and every path evokes a sense of mystery and wonder. Pico do Arieiro. At over 1,800 meters high, this is a world where the earth pierces the heavens. Jagged, dark volcanic spires tear through a thick, rolling sea of clouds, standing like ancient stone sentinels guarding the edge of reality. To stand here at dawn is to witness the birth of the world anew. As the first rays of the sun ignite the horizon, the cold mist turns into a blazing ocean of gold, crimson and violet, crashing in slow motion against the immovable cliffs. Carved by violent volcanic eruptions millions of years ago, these unforgiving ridges now offer a pathway among the stars. Walking along these narrow, sky-high trails, you are caught between the profound silence of the altitude and the raw, howling power of the wind. Pico do Arieiro is not just a mountain peak, it is a dramatic collision of elements: stone, wind, and sky. A towering masterpiece that humbles the soul and reminds us of the untamed, primordial forces that shaped our planet. Plitvice Lakes. Deep in the heart of the Dinaric Alps, nature has painted a masterpiece that refuses to stay still. This is Plitvice Lakes, a liquid labyrinth where water defies the concept of a single flowing river. Before you lies a cascading staircase of 16 impossible lakes, connected by a seemingly infinite web of waterfalls. But the true illusion of Plitvice lies not just in its structure, but in its colors. As sunlight pierces the forest canopy, the water transforms before your eyes. From striking azure to deep emerald to a ghostly, translucent grey. It is a living prism, constantly rewriting its own palette based on the angle of the sun and the minerals breathing beneath the surface. Looking down into the depths, the surface disappears completely. Suspended fish and submerged, petrified forests seem to float in mid-air. It is an optical trick of absolute crystalline purity. Here, the very stone is alive. Travertine barriers grow layer by layer, shaping and reshaping the water's path in real time. It is a landscape that is never exactly the same twice. Twin Lagoon, Philippines. Deep within the jagged black limestone teeth of Coron, Palawan, lies a secret guarded by stone. This is Twin Lagoon, a place where the earth cracks open to reveal two mirrored worlds of water. To enter, you must surrender to the rock. Swimming through a narrow, treacherous fissure, you leave the open sea behind. What awaits on the other side is a hidden sanctuary of absolute emerald stillness. But the true spectacle isn't found on the surface. Dive into the shadows, and reality itself begins to warp. You are plunging into a surreal, invisible collision. Freezing, subterranean fresh water bleeds into the heavy, sun-warmed salt water. They don't simply mix, they wrestle. This thermal clash creates a mesmerizing visual shimmer, turning the water into a mirage of bending liquid glass. It is an alien landscape hidden in plain sight. One moment you are swathed in comforting tropical heat, the next a phantom chill bites at your skin. Twin Lagoon is a living, breathing paradox. A realm where you don't just witness the illusion of the deep, you feel it, rushing intensely over your very skin. Victoria Falls. Sometimes the earth literally roars. Long before you see it, you feel it in your bones. You are looking at Victoria Falls. Straddling the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe, the locals call it the smoke that thunders. And it is an explosion of pure, raw power. Over 1 million gallons of water plunge into a narrow abyss every single second. The crash is so violent, the river shatters into mist. It shoots hundreds of feet back into the sky, creating an endless, upside-down rainstorm. A lush emerald jungle grows right on the edge of the cliff, fed entirely by this flying water. In the heavy spray, brilliant, permanent rainbows are born. Loud, chaotic, breathtaking. Nature's ultimate masterpiece. Viti Crater Lake. Sometimes, perfect beauty is born from absolute destruction. This place is literally named Hell. You are looking at the Viti Crater Lake. Buried deep in the remote highlands of Iceland, the landscape here is a violent, dark wasteland. It looks exactly like the surface of another planet, completely barren and unforgiving. But carved directly into the black volcanic rock, you find this: a massive, perfectly round eye of water, glowing in an unnatural, milky blue. The water is naturally heated, steaming from the magma still boiling deep underground. A brilliant jewel locked inside a frozen desert of ash. Violent, surreal, unforgettable.
A few hours north, we meet one of Patagonia's most recognizable silhouettes. Looming above it all is the unmistakable silhouette of Mount Fitzroy. The ancient Tehuelche people knew it by a different, more haunting name: Chaltén, the smoking mountain, not because it burns with fire, but because this monolith breathes its own weather, forever wrapped in a private, swirling veil of clouds. At over 11,000 feet, it is not the tallest peak in the Andes, but few mountains command such pure, unyielding reverence. To approach it is not a hike, it is a pilgrimage. The trails bleed out from the very doorstep of the town, winding deep into ancient Lenga forests where the trees are violently twisted by the wind. Here, the weather bows to no human schedule. Fitzroy alone decides when it will reveal itself, and on most days, it demands that you wait, shivering in the mist. But when the storm finally breaks, when the clouds part, and that serrated granite skyline ignites against a cobalt sky, every blister, every bone-chilling gust of wind feels like a small price to pay. And as you finally turn away from the Andes, another world quietly opens up. The endless Patagonian steppe, a vast emptiness of wind-bent shrubs and skies that stretch on into forever.
Avenue of the Baobabs. Welcome to Madagascar, an island where nature plays by its own rules. To kick off our journey, we start here. This is the Avenue of the Baobabs. Look at these massive giants. They line a simple, dusty dirt road. Some are over 1,000 years old. Their trunks are incredibly thick. The branches are tiny. They literally look planted upside down, like their roots are reaching straight into the sky. It feels completely surreal, like walking into a fairy tale. But the real magic hits at sunset. The sky explodes in orange and violet. The trees cast long, dark shadows. It is a timeless scene, proof that pure magic still exists on Earth. Carlsbad flower fields. Now we head to the California coast, to a landscape that looks painted by hand. Welcome to the Carlsbad flower fields. Imagine 50 acres of rolling hills, covered entirely in blooming flowers. These are the giant Tecolote ranunculus. The colors are unbelievably bright, vivid reds, pinks, yellows and whites. They are planted in perfect coordinated rows. It looks like a massive rainbow draped over the earth, or a giant striped ribbon flowing toward the Pacific Ocean. This explosion of life is fleeting. It only lasts for a few weeks every spring. It is a breathtaking visual masterpiece, a stunning, temporary celebration of pure color. Chocolate Hills, Philippines. Lying silently on Bohol Island is a geological anomaly of striking beauty, the Chocolate Hills. Over 1,200 perfectly symmetrical conical mounds erupt from the earth, sprawling endlessly like a bewitched labyrinth. The true sorcery of this place doesn't lie in its shape, but in its dramatic metamorphosis. As the dry season sweeps in from January to May, the merciless sun strips away the lush green carpet, scorching the hills into a deep, roasted brown. From the sky, thousands of mounds suddenly transform into giant chocolate drops, scattered across nature's colossal chessboard. But to witness this magnificent mirage, a toll must be paid. You must conquer a grueling ascent of over 200 steep steps, battling a blistering tropical sun that threatens to drain your every ounce of strength. Shield yourself well, for this surreal landscape will not only deceive your eyes, but relentlessly test your endurance. Dolomites. Some mountains simply don't look real, like they were violently carved by giants. You are looking at the Dolomites, hidden in the north of Italy. Forget soft, rolling snow peaks. These are pale, jagged teeth of stone, piercing straight through the clouds. They explode out of perfect green meadows. The contrast is completely unbelievable. It feels like a massive living painting, but you have to wait for sunset. The pale rock reacts to the fading light. It literally looks like it catches fire, burning in striking shades of pink and orange. A raw, dramatic masterpiece. One of the most striking places on Earth. Frozen Lake Baikal. There are places on Earth where time seems to have made a choice, to stand still. In the harsh heart of Siberia, Lake Baikal is more than just a body of water. It is a living relic, over 25 million years in the making, a museum of absolute purity, sleeping beneath the frost. As winter kisses the surface, Baikal transforms into a colossal crystal mirror. The ice here is so pristine, you feel as though you are levitating in a void. Looking down, you don't see the ground. You see a 1,600-meter abyss, silently whispering the oldest geological secrets of our planet. Hidden within this frozen lens are methane pearls, gas bubbles captured mid-ascent by the sudden Siberian chill. Stacked like frozen galaxies in time, they form a surreal architecture that no mortal artist could ever hope to replicate. But Baikal is never truly silent. Beneath 2 meters of ice, the lake is breathing. It groans with thunderous cracks, echoing like sci-fi lasers through the cold stillness. It is a symphony of life, where nature composes its own anthem of power and solitude. One step onto Baikal is a touch upon eternity. Don't just watch with your eyes, feel it with your soul. Lake Serapis. Some colors look completely fake, like they were poured straight from a paint bucket. You are looking at Lake Serapis, hidden deep high up in the Italian Dolomites. Getting here is a challenge. You have to hike along narrow, dizzying cliff edges. But the ultimate reward is waiting at the top. A hidden basin of milky, pastel blue water. The unnatural color comes from ancient glacial dust, suspended perfectly in the freezing water. It sits directly beneath a massive, jagged wall of rock, like a brilliant sapphire locked inside a stone fortress. Leitisvatn. Journeying north to the edge of the Faroe Islands, we encounter a place that defies the laws of perspective, a hidden wonder known as Leitisvatn. From a certain angle, the world seems to fold upon itself. A vast, tranquil lake appears to float hundreds of meters directly above the churning, violent waves of the Atlantic Ocean, a gravity-defying optical illusion created by the jagged cliffs of Trallanipa. This is a landscape of stark contrasts. On one side, the calm, silent surface of the freshwater lake. On the other, the raw, relentless power of the sea, battering the dark basalt pillars far below. As you stand on the edge of the precipice, the wind carries the salt of the ocean and the mist of the highlands. Here, the water of the lake eventually finds its escape, plunging over the Burst dalla Fossa waterfall in a dramatic leap directly into the salt spray of the North Atlantic. A floating sanctuary in a world of stone and foam. An unforgettable glimpse into the wild, untamed soul of the Faroe Islands. Lofoten Islands. Situated above the Arctic Circle, these islands are like something from a mythical tale, with jagged peaks soaring into the vast sky, rising through billowy clouds. Lofoten is not just a paradise for those seeking peace, but a living painting, where every view feels like a piece of art. The sharp mountain peaks of Lofoten reflect off the crystal-clear waters like a giant mirror. And when winter arrives, the landscape transforms into a watercolor masterpiece, with mystical orange and golden lights casting across the white snow. The ancient villages, with their bright red wooden houses, are nestled quietly in tranquil valleys, creating an enchanting scene that pulls you in. When you visit Lofoten, you'll feel as though time stands still. Everything becomes silent, serene, and pure. The ethereal light of the Arctic creeps through the mountains, making the landscape feel otherworldly and dreamlike, as though you've wandered into a dream that's never been dreamed before. It's a place where the noise of the outside world vanishes, and only the sounds of nature remain. The wind, the waves, and the quiet moments that can't be found anywhere else. Maldives. Imagine a world where land is just an afterthought. Where the ocean completely takes over. You are looking at the Maldives, a string of tiny islands scattered across the Indian Ocean. The water here is flawlessly clear, striking shades of turquoise and deep blue. It feels perfectly warm all year round. But the true magic is completely hidden during the day. You have to wait for the sun to drop. Because on certain beaches, the shoreline literally glows. Microscopic plankton light up the waves in neon blue. It looks like a sea of liquid stars, crashing gently against the pure white sand. It is a surreal, living light show. pure tropical perfection, an absolute paradise suspended in the ocean. Le Mont Saint-Michel. Rising out of the turquoise waters of the Saint-Michel Bay, Mont Saint-Michel stands as a mystical island where land and sea merge to create an unbelievable landscape. With its towering abbey reaching for the skies, Mont Saint-Michel is like an ancient castle surrounded by thick stone walls and narrow, winding streets. As the tide rises, the island seems to vanish, swallowed by the vast sea, creating the sensation of standing between two worlds, the world of man and the world of mythology. The history of Mont Saint-Michel is steeped in mystery and sanctity. Every stone, every wall here tells stories of those who once came to pray, fight, and endure through centuries of highs and lows. Built in the 8th century, Mont Saint-Michel is not just a stunning architectural marvel, but a powerful symbol of perseverance and spiritual strength. Whether viewed from afar or stepped into through its narrow, stone-clad streets, Mont Saint-Michel always evokes the feeling of entering another world. A world of mysticism, sacredness, and untold stories. Corvo Volcanic Island. Stranded in the absolute abyss of the North Atlantic, where the map of Europe simply disintegrates, lies a solitary fragment of primal Earth. Corvo. It is an apparition, a speck of deep emerald, isolated by thousands of miles of violent blue. This is not an island, but a portal, the ultimate edge of the known world, a reality without a neighboring harbor. Yet, the island is only a sentinel, guarding a secret paradox. As you stand on the high rim and look down, you realize Corvo is not an island in the world, but a world unto itself. Below you sits the massive green bowl of the Calderao, an ancient volcanic cradle perfectly contained. Within this sanctum, the sky is redefined. Tiny, mirror-like lagoons and dozens of volcanic cones are arranged in a pattern so precise, so vast, that perspective collapses. It is a beautiful deceit. Here, entire herds of cows grazing below look like tiny black dots, moving like phantoms across a colossal emerald chessboard. You are at the beginning of time. Danakil Depression, Ethiopia. If there is a place that proves you've left the blue planet behind, it is the Danakil Depression. Perched at the lowest and harshest point of the Earth, it greets you not with the green of life, but with a surreal kaleidoscope of lethal yellows and burning oranges. Beneath the dazzling facade of salt pillars and bubbling acidic springs lies a brutal reality. The air is thick with the toxic stench of sulfur, and the scorching heat relentlessly hovers above 45 degrees Celsius. This is no place for comfort. It is a sanctuary for witnessing nature's most violent, primal extremes. A journey reserved only for those seeking the world in its rawest, most unrefined form. Are you brave enough to step into this beautiful, glowing nightmare? Deadflay, Namibia. Reaching Deadflay is a rite of passage, a battle against shifting, titanic dunes that only the most rugged four-wheel drive vehicles can survive. Beyond the 1.1-kilometer trek through absolute silence, a bone-white clay stage awaits, guarded by the world's most towering crimson dunes. The most haunting and captivating stars of this landscape are the charcoal-black tree trunks, standing defiant for millennia without decay. It is a masterpiece of deadly pride, a silent testament to a time when this void was once a lush, emerald oasis. Arrive at the first light of dawn to escape the brutal 40 degrees Celsius heat and witness the legendary golden glow. Equip yourself with high-top boots against the scorching sand and carry plenty of electrolytes. Above all, walk softly, for every step on this ancient clay basin is a tread upon the dust of millions of years of history. Lac Rose. Nestled on the coast of Senegal, Lac Rose appears as a haunting mirage, painted in a deceptive, vibrant pink. But do not let its sweet facade fool you. This is a ruthlessly harsh body of water, where salinity levels reach a staggering 40%, corrosive enough to strip metal and drain the life from almost any creature that steps inside. The crimson hue isn't magic. It is the violent survival of an ancient algae boiling under the merciless sun. Defying the thick, flesh-tearing salt water, local harvesters plunge into the depths daily, coating their bodies in thick shea butter as a fragile shield against the corrosive sting. Lac Rose is a chilling testament that sometimes the most dazzling beauty on Earth is forged in the most suffocating and deadly environments. Lake Natron, Tanzania. Do not let this vibrant palette deceive your senses. In northern Tanzania lies a colossal oil painting called Lake Natron, but it is painted with poison. The crimson and fiery orange hues aren't an invitation, they are a warning. With a pH reaching 12, equivalent to concentrated bleach, this water feels slippery like soap, but it burns with a lethal sting. This place turns the unfortunate into eternal stone statues. A magnificent graveyard where life is mummified the moment it falls. Yet, amidst this alkaline hell, a miracle flourishes.